Back on Bashundhara Cements in the BPL straight drive, and what a convincing win by Chattogram Royals. It was a brilliant bowling performance to restrict Dhaka Capitals for just 122 in 19.4 overs, and we got to see Sher-e Islam really at his very best, picking up 3 wickets, Tanveer as well picking up 3, and then in response it was that partnership between Adam Rossington, who's had a busy day behind the stumps as well, along with Naeem Sheikh. This is how things stand. Rajshahi Warriors, after that terrific win last night, are sitting pretty on 6 points at the top of the table. Chattogram right behind them. They seem to have made quite a comeback in this BPL that we've seen. They lost their last game but won this one. Sylhet on 4, Rangpur on 2, and Dhaka also on 2 points. Well, a brilliant win by Chattogram Royals have put them second on that points table. What a performance by them. When you talk about the bowling performance that we saw from them today, Sher-e Islam was definitely somebody who we mentioned in the pre-show will be key, and we were expecting him to deliver the goods, and that's exactly what we did. I've got with me Shomanay Ghosh and Ramiz Raja to talk about this win by Chattogram Royals. Great win by Chattogram, Shomanay. We spoke about how they need to get their act together, and overall it was a convincing win.
It was comprehensive, it was clinical, and we mentioned, as you said in the pre-show, that they need to get the act together, and that will spice up the table, and exactly what we saw in the table. They needed to get a good start, having won the toss and electing to bowl first. Sher-e got the zip, found his rhythm, and he was so good along with Tanveer Islam, and I think Mahdi got the changes right. Bowled 3 overs on the top, given Sher-e, why mend what is not broken. Fantastic.
Ramiz, a lot of credit goes to Adam Rossington, because we talk about keeping and how significant it is in this day and age, and I guess it always has been in terms of just, providing the results for a team. Adam Rossington behind the stumps was very refreshing today. What did you like about him?
He defies logic. We talk about keepers being, lithe and willowy and thin, but here's a guy who's filled up, and he was outstanding behind the stumps. Normally in T20, keepers don't get a lot of recognition because, you see, it's a 50-50 job. A batsman who can do a bit of keeping work is put behind the bars, but here's a specialist, and there's value to have a specialist out there. He was lightning fast. I mean, he anticipated the delivery so well, read the spin or lack of spin, is whipping up the bails in no time, and it just moves so swiftly and elegantly. I mean, that was the other thing about his keeping. There's nothing rushed. It was, nice moves and almost moved like a ballerina.
Absolutely. You talk about quick glove work. I mean, this is a prime example of that, Shomanay, that what we saw from him. Also the anticipation. When you talk about a wicket keeper, you're always talking about how quickly he anticipates where the ball is moving. What was impressive about him for you overall when you looked at how good he was?
The most impressive thing was the reaction time, and it's the right thing you pointed out, Zainab, is the anticipation factor, because these players haven't really played together. He was quick, he was rapid with the glove work, and he did not try to overdo it. And just like Ramiz Bhai mentioned, it was like a ballerina with the gloves on, and equaling, the record of most stumpings in the history of a T20 match.
Let's talk about that first stumping, Ramiz, that we saw from him, Adam Rossington, because we saw 4 stumpings, but that first one was quite special. Just talk us through his brilliance, please.
Bring it on then. Let's see it. Because we're talking about soft hands, we're talking about anticipation, and he's very close to the stumps as well. And he reads it so well. I mean, quite a few times keepers have these aimless appeals just to pressurize the opposition or the batsman, but have a look at the take. Took it with soft hands, and the gloves did not move at all, so there's give, but then he didn't really get the gloves back, which could have allowed the batsman to come back into the crease. It was a quick whip of the bails, and the job was done. A bit like MS Dhoni, may I add. MS Dhoni is very much like him. He just takes the ball from right on top of the stumps and whips the bail very quickly.
Who are some of the best keepers that you've seen in your career? Because we're talking about Adam Rossington and his glove work.
That's a good question, actually. I always loved Jeffrey Dujon behind the stumps. West Indies, great. He was so acrobatic and Rashid Latif of Pakistan was pretty impressive as well. Who else? I mean, Alan Knott, I didn't get to see a lot of Alan Knott. Wasim Bari was supposed to be very safe. And I think the best amongst them, statistically, and especially against spin, MS Dhoni.
All right, let's talk about his batting as well, because with that partnership with Naeem was particularly impressive, and that's what really got them going. Mohammad Naeem and Adam Rossington. Rossington with the bat, how special was he?
Oh, they were explosive. You know, they have the firepower at the top. And Rossington, you know, in T20s, he has a strike rate of 147 in the power play. And today, he struck at 168, 59 of 30, 35. And I think it's contagious. You do well on the field, and you rub that off onto the bat as well. He was prolific with the bat in hand.
And definitely his day, Adam Rossington. You spoke about his glove work behind the stumps, but his batting as well. I mean, you look at how calm he was sort of out there. What was impressive for you?
I thought his power hitting, and he didn't throw in, you know, he didn't waste his talent, waste his form. So once he got going, then, you know, it made it count. And so that opening partnership is so critical for the team, because that was a pasting for the opposition, and so that'll give them a lot of confidence through the opening partnership. And I just feel that if he gets cracking, you know, scoring rate or the run rate or the strike rate, you know, the team will not have any issues whatsoever.
Mohammad Naeem, again, we spoke about him, Shomonoya, how he's the highest paid cricketer in the BPL, and he proved exactly why he's the highest paid cricketer today.
Yeah, he justified that, didn't he? It was the hot cake, as you said, in the auction of the BASHUNDHARA Cement BPL T20. And there's the reason why. He's been doing that. Last edition, he was the highest run getter. Got a few stars in this edition. Couldn't convert, but today was the day. It was set up nicely. And, you know, he is an expressive batter, likes to play his strokes and go after the bowling. But I really liked how he paced himself and picked his deliveries wisely.
Having a complete game, how important is that? You know, when you talk about players, there are certain players who dominate pace, there are certain players who dominate spin. How important is it as a player to have a complete game?
See, for an opener, now you've got to be very good against spin. Because normally, you see, even in this BPL, you see a lot of spin being used up front in the first 6 overs. So unless you are good against spin, your chances to survive become that much limited. So, you know, Naeem Sheikh has got the game. You know, the good thing about his batting was that he didn't rush it. So it was a 40-ball 50 that he got, and he was in command. He knew exactly what was asked of him, and he just wanted to make sure that it was a paltry total, that he remained not out and got the game done in style, and it was a sensible batting.